Welcome back to the Digital Banking Symposium 2020, co-organized by the Singapore Fintech Association and the Banking and Financial Services Union. Today's final agenda will be presented by Airome, where we learn how to achieve a secure, contactless customer experience using your mobile. Airome will be answering the following questions on securing contactless customer experiences. Why traditional technology is outdated and what current concerns for financial services in this age? What are the ways to achieve it? How banks and fintech will benefit from it? And what features are needed to support branchless banking? This session today will be moderated by Leonard Chong, VP of Business Development, APJ, and he will be joined by Svetlana Egorova, Head of Payment Development at Alfa Bank, as well as Aaron Fu, Business Development Manager, Netrust. I will now pass my time over to our esteemed speakers.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. A very good afternoon to everyone. Many thanks for joining us today. I hope you and your families are well. My name is Leonard Chong and I'm the VP of Business Development for Airome Technologies. With me are my colleagues Svetlana, Head of Payment Development from Alfa Bank, a customer of ours. Alfa Bank, for information, is one of the largest commercial banks in Russia. And I also have Aaron Fu, Business Development Manager from Netrust, a partner of ours. Netrust is the only CA in Singapore. Together, we will be sharing our thoughts and experiences on how you can achieve a secure, contactless customer experience using your mobile. COVID-19 has altered customer behavior, and banks will have to enhance their business models to accommodate what's new and next. As countries ease their lockdown restrictions, banks will be confronted by increased customer expectations and the need to make customers and employees feel safe. Innovative digital services will have to be provided to allow consumers to continue doing their essential and leisure activities without leaving their homes. Since the pandemic is still very much part of our lives, banks should be prepared for a new trend that's likely here to stay: the contactless customer experience. With contactless experience, customers can continue to perform their transactions digitally without having to be physically present at any location. Our mobiles will be the perfect platform for this, since mobiles are an essential part of our lives. With mobile penetration rates rising, providing contactless customer experience through mobile would be ideal for digital and financial inclusion, greater service adoption, and ultimately faster mass market penetration. Airome is headquartered in Singapore. We provide cybersecurity solutions for digital financial transactions and e-document management systems. We have a secure client-server software called PayConfirm that can be used to confirm or digitally sign any type of operations, including financial transactions or e-documents using your mobile device. We have been around for more than 10 years and have a customer base of more than 65 banks, particularly in the Eastern European region. We have 8 out of the top 10 Russian banks as our valuable customers. As you know, Russia is rated number 2 in terms of providing innovative digital banking services. Due to the lockdowns, many of our normal activities have been limited. Unfortunately, what used to be normal is no longer normal anymore. With ongoing health and safety concerns, together with restrictions, our behaviors and those of customers have changed. To stay relevant in this new normal, banks will need to address this emerging behavior. Otherwise, their customers may choose a bank that can cater to their new needs. What is happening now is social distancing is the new normal, and COVID-19 has really turned into a reality check for banks. Banks would now need to ask hard questions like, am I really able to serve the needs of my customer? Are my services satisfactory? Is my customer really able to communicate with me? Unfortunately, despite all the discussions and plans for digital transformation, we can actually see that we fall short in our current service offerings. From authenticating and authorizing identities for the opening of new accounts, the cashing of checks, and application for services, the current system is not able to effectively support the whole idea of performing remote contactless transactions. With social distancing, customers may now decide to choose businesses that provide digital services they can use without leaving home. Digital inclusion will drive financial inclusion, and financial inclusion is a key driver of resilience in the face of economic shocks caused by COVID-19. A digitally inclusive community is important for the development of the economy and workforce, education, healthcare, and public safety. It is a blueprint for addressing and guiding the readiness of communities to fully embrace the digital age. The growth of digitalization has been accelerated by the pandemic. Therefore, it's more critical to ensure digital literacy for everyone. With digital inclusion, everybody will have the IT capacity needed for full participation in our society and economy. Being digitally agile will allow us to adapt more successfully in this new normal. Financial inclusion is needed for all. It gives individuals the ability to access financial services to meet their needs, such as saving, transacting, making and receiving payments, receiving credit, and insurance. For the unbanked and underbanked, this inclusion helps them to make daily payments reliably. It helps them to access credit, which can be invested in their small scale income generating activities. It also helps people save their cash. During this pandemic, we see that G2P payments have become very important as governments look for ways to respond to the economic and social consequences of the crisis. Being financially included will allow people affected by the pandemic to start rebuilding their lives. The inability of the world's financially excluded to be able to reliably make and receive payments will hinder their financial and social progress. Therefore, getting these communities to be digitally inclusive will make it easier to financially include them by onboarding and providing them access to the financial system. As the pandemic continues to raise concerns about health and safety while we conduct our daily essential activities in physical locations, it's clear our consumer behavior has changed. We are seeing radical changes in consumers who have more power than ever. Consumers now feel the need to be connected everywhere and at any time. They also want their needs to be met immediately, including the consumption of relevant and useful content. And this has resulted in an increase in digital adoption. We see an increase in contactless cashless payments as an alternative to cash and checks. Our traditional payment ecosystem can possibly expose countless of people to the risk of infection. Imagine someone with COVID-19 hands a cashier his credit card. You'll be next when you hand your credit card to this cashier, and he hands it back to you because your card may now have the virus all over it. Then there's the ATM touchscreen, debit cards, point of sale terminals, etc. Imagine millions of transactions every day, millions of opportunities to spread the deadly virus. Although customer experience is difficult to quantify, customer turnover is tangible, and customer loyalty is quickly becoming a thing of the past. Customer loyalty is a product of rich customer-centric relationships that begin with knowing the customer and their expectations. By knowing and engaging your customer accordingly, banks can optimize interactions that will result in increased customer satisfaction and wallet share and a subsequent decrease in customer churn. As I mentioned earlier, customers now expect frictionless and personalized experiences at any touchpoint. Any failure to meet these expectations may result in a customer choosing a different bank. It is important that we adapt to this evolving behavior. Some key takeaways on this are the digital revolution will be driven by mobile. Therefore, we should adopt a mobile-first strategy since a large majority of internet usage is on mobile. And not forgetting the unbanked and underbanked are mobile savvy too. The customer experience should be mobile centric. We should personalize experiences based on customer behavioral trends using big data and machine learning to create easy to use and highly personalized customer experiences. 38% of banking customers claim that user experience is one of the most important criteria in choosing an appropriate bank. Creating rewarding and meaningful customer experiences should be a priority for banks. We should work on increasing customer trust, as transaction security and trust is key when we are in a digital environment that potentially exposes us to threats such as SMS OTP hijacking, phishing, SIM swap fraud, and malware. eKYC will ease the application, identification, and verification processes for digital transactions. This will greatly reduce transactional risk for customers and banks. And most importantly, having easy to use, highly secure, and cost-effective contactless digital services on mobile will be key enablers to achieve your expansion goals. The transformation in digital online services and our push towards contactless customer experience will be spearheaded by mobile. Amongst the many benefits it brings, mobile technology is also the obvious solution to overcome the logistic issues associated with having a physical branch office everywhere. Digital transformation is necessary if banks don't want to be left behind by the evolution of digital technology. But where most people see challenges, banks should see opportunities to provide better services and establish greater relationships with their customers. What's important is the customer satisfaction and trust. Customer trust, after all, is the cornerstone of the digital economy. The whole contactless customer experience will be driven by mobile. With contactless, there is no physical human interaction, no touch screens, no need to be physically present at any location. The 3 points of contact, employee to employee, employee to customer, customer to customer, will not be present, and the risk of exposure to the virus minimized. This developing trend has resulted from a greater shift towards health and wellness due to the threat of virus exposure at physical locations. It will minimize the chance of infection as transactions are now done remotely. This will result in a greater shift towards the use of our mobiles, and our customer journey should be designed with mobile-centric experiences in mind. So why is the demand for digital mobile services growing so rapidly, aside from the obvious health and safety concerns? Well, there's 3 simple reasons. Firstly, people love using their digital devices. Secondly, people also love conveniences. And thirdly, people love the idea of doing things quickly. Our ever-present mobiles will be the most convenient tool, and we should be able to do the following on our mobile: shop, pay as a credit, debit card, or wallet, save through our deposits, invest in bonds, equities, and mutual funds, protect ourselves through the purchase of insurance products, borrow through secured or unsecured loans, identify ourselves for authentic digital identification and verification purposes, eKYC, sign digitally, acknowledge, verify, and exchange legal agreements and documents, paperless office. As you can see, the future is contactless. And here are some key features that will allow you to provide a secure contactless customer experience using your mobile. Secure frictionless confirmation, eKYC, PKI, and paperless office features. We use our mobiles for practically everything today. Since our mobile is so much a part of our lives, it would be a perfect tool to be used as a digital key. Airroom's Pay Confirm solution allows you to use your mobile as your personal digital signature to securely confirm transactions. Pay Confirm is a mobile transaction authentication signature solution that uses asymmetric cryptography. It allows a bank's customer to confirm transactions in an omni-channel digital banking environment with a high level of security and convenience. Compared to other confirmation methods, Pay Confirm makes the process more secure, user-friendly, and is done in a very cost-effective way. No additional cost for SMS OTP, hardware, and software tokens. In the core of the signature Pay Confirm generates, there are asymmetric cryptographic algorithms, which means that a bank doesn't need to store any of the client's keys. These digital keys are generated and stored in the client's mobile and cannot be intercepted as well as reproduced by any other third party. With Pay Confirm, you confirm transactions with a single tap using your mobile device. eKYC can be used for customer onboarding, identity verification, and ongoing user authentication. In this digital era, where many customers are digitally savvy and any visit to a bank is seen as a waste of time, an eKYC onboarding process should be efficient, seamless, and convenient. Banks should focus on decreasing time-consuming and frustration-generating activities. From a business perspective, there is also a greater need for banks to pay more attention to customer acquisition and identity verification across the globe. eKYC empowers banks to tap into the massive unbanked market and expand their digital footprint overseas. Bearing in mind that new normal customers are reducing face-to-face contact and want the ability to perform all types of financial transactions, regardless of time and location, eKYC provides opportunities to open accounts without having to visit a branch. Customers are provided with instantaneous support depending on their needs, and employees are less burdened with paperwork, have real-time access to records, and can easily evaluate a customer's details. This procedure is not only efficient and provides cost savings, it also helps to increase a bank's image. The increase of cybersecurity threats shows the need for more robust biometric-based verification systems to complement traditional methods such as passwords and 2FA solutions. On the other hand, the rise of deepfakes and identity spoofing may also represent a potential challenge to biometrics-based verification systems. Correctly identifying a customer and their identity is the paramount responsibility of banks in mitigating financial risk. The security we take for granted in the physical world has been developed over time to ensure the credibility and authenticity of people we do business with. These include sealing envelopes to ensure privacy, presenting credentials and signatures to confirm identity, and providing receipts to confirm transactions. As online transactions grow, these physical safeguards have to be replicated to meet the needs of the digital world. There is a need to be comfortable that the claim initiator of the transaction has actually sent the message. PKI ensures a level of security and trust for transactions conducted in digital. Any message sent over the internet can benefit from PKI technology, whether it is company to company, company to government, international or domestic. PKI offers the following unique benefits. Digital signatures create persistent, tamper-resistant evidence of who did what to whom, which is critical to electronic transactions carrying high risk or compliance requirements. Digital signatures can convey authoritative information like credentials, licenses, affiliations, and so on. And digital signatures bind that authoritative information directly to messages to decentralize and greatly simplify transaction processing. And finally, let's look at the paperless office. Most banks sign a lot of paper documents with their customers, and it leads to significant costs associated with printing, logistics, and document storage. It also limits customer service to in person interactions at a branch office. Expansion of services and growth in customers will lead banks to reduce the financial and time cost of paperwork and lower the risk of errors. The most effective solution is the use of digital channels to execute and digitally sign agreements. Digital interaction should not only be more convenient and accessible for customers, but also as secure and legally effective as traditional methods. Therefore, banks have to ensure the integrity and authorship of signed digital documents. In addition, this digital signing solution should have extensive capabilities for resolving conflict situations in order to avoid legal risk that may arise if a customer disputes their operation. So some of the benefits you get with paperless office: it reduces time and financial costs of interaction with customers, paper and office equipment maintenance. It lowers the risk of customer interaction, mistakes, and risk of losing documents. It fully ensures the legality of transactions. It improves the customer service quality and efficiency. And finally, it ensures business sustainability in the new normal with contactless customer experience initiatives. I hope you have a better understanding of the importance of digital and financial inclusion. And with the changing behavior and expectations of consumers due to safety and health concerns, how eKYC, PKI, and paperless office features can help you provide a secure, contactless customer experience on mobile that would allow you to address these customer needs and grow your customer base. In summary, with Aarons Pay Confirm, eKYC, PKI, and paperless office features, a customer can securely open an account, perform any financial or online transactions, sign and exchange legal agreements and documents without having to be physically present at any location. These transactions are performed on your mobile and is highly secured by digital mobile signatures and the added layer of security from PKI. I've come to the end of my sharing session. Thank you very much. I shall now invite my colleague Savlana from Alfa Bank to share her thoughts on the digital banking experience.
Thank you, Leonard. And hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here. First, I want to tell you a few words about my company. So we were the biggest private bank in Russia, and we have high scores in the bank rating competition. Also, each year we got new rewards in different ratings. This year it was Euromoney, Global Finance, and the Russian Associations of Electronic Communications. No, just some words about my bank. Today I'm going to tell you about the working process in my company, I mean the product team's working process, and give you some information, especially about our mobile bank app for business, which is created by the same product team. So let's go. We are two types of product team in Alfa Bank. At first, we divided by personal banking and business banking. Each team has two focuses: customer products and internal products. For instance, I'm responsible for customer payments. This is a customer product. A number of teams provide me with internal products. For example, a confirmation method or customer stating data. These internal products are used by all products teams. So, personal banking and business banking, and then we divide it by internal products and customer products. Each team should measure their own success. And we measure our success in two metrics. It's voice of customer and cost income ratio. Because of that, the product backlog consists of customer problems, which we divide by items to work on. Before all develop, we prove that the item is worth to work on. For that, we conduct quantitative and qualitative research. In all our features, we focus on customer process to improve the experience by using us every day. We use Scrum framework and design thinking methods. The last one helps us to find ideas to compete with other banks. To conclude, we verify all problems before add them to backlog. We prioritize all backlog items to make sure that we work on the most important one. We check the user experience while develop and have a post-control metrics to prove that we made a difference. I bring a few photos to you to show the creative process. This is a brainstorming and preparation for quantitative research with a paper app. This is a brainstorm, and this is a preparation paper app. And the last one, it looks like an interrogation from Netflix, but this is not. This is a customer interview with an application prototype. So we know a lot about our customers, and it helps us to answer the next question: why are business banking apps so popular in Russia? Small businesses in Russia live in very fast pace. Entrepreneurs have to work on the run. Through the day, they negotiate with partners, build business process in the organization, and banking operations play not the last part in it. It is beneficial for the bank when the client's business flourishes. To help entrepreneurs, banks in Russia create mobile application. As you know, mobile apps are convenient for on-the-go jobs. 62% of companies with account in Alfa Bank use the mobile app, with half of them using it every day. Of the companies with more than 5 million turnover, a third of them use our mobile application. All basic functions are available in mobile application. Making payments, ordering cards, and managing limits, document management with partners, which we tend to make contactless, currency transactions, loans, payroll, financial analytics and reports, settings, and subscription management. Through the mobile application, you can become a client of Alfa Bank and open a first account. You can not only access banking products, but also manage them. Also, the application is a guarantee of the reliability of the bank. It keeps a super signature, which is attached to your payments and documents, which guarantee the safety of transaction. Well, I'm glad to answer all your questions during the session or later. You could contact me by mail or Facebook.
Lana, for the insightful sharing session. I've just got a couple of questions to ask you. So number one on my list is Russia has a very competitive digital banking landscape. So how do banks really compete in Russia?
This is an interesting question. A few years ago, we were counting how many days it takes to open a bank account for a business. Today, the Handheld Index indicate highly competitive industry, which means that the difference between products is negligible and the prices are almost the same. Banks need to prove themselves to customers and provide the solution as fast as possible. Nowadays, we measure the time in the minutes and can't allow any lapse in services. The additional customer expectations come from other areas, such as food and goods delivery, or government services, which have moved online. When you can buy a fridge in the middle of the night, or apply for a driving license online, you expect at least the same speed and usability from banks. So the main focuses for banks are the speed, the services, and usability. We are fighting for each customers. That's good for them because we provide a lot of useful tools for business.
Thanks, Savlena. Next question I have is, so in terms of digital engagement, right? What services are available for companies online?
Actually, all of them. 25% of our customers use just mobile app to control their bank account, make payments or send invoices, prepare tax reports, and pay taxes. There is absolutely no need for our customers to come to the bank in person. Everything can be done online. The top services that we're proud of is matchmaking service, helps to grow your business card. Sure, they have the best business cards in Russia, and pay control. I know that you have a different name for this company in Singapore, but for us it's pay control. It makes transfers more convenient and safe. But answer the question, all services are available online.
Okay, so my final question to you is, so who are the typical bank users, and why do you care about them?
Based on our research, we have found 4 types of business banking users. This is different from personal banking, where the user is equal to the customer. In our case, we define a customer as an organization and the user as a person who owns the organization or works there. It's important to cater to different kinds of users because they may have an influence to the company's choice of bank. So it's our goal to make sure that our services are relevant to each type of users. We defined 4 of them. So the first role is a chief executive officer. In a small business, he owns company and make all the decisions. He has to control the situation and make sure that everything is going normal. Most of the time, he uses mobile app because it's convenient to resolve issue on the go. The second type, and no less important role, is accountant. The role is responsible for payments, documents, reports, and taxes. There is not too much transparency in law in Russia, so the entrepreneurs most of the time have to ask for help. Accountants use the web. Internet banking is more convenient to transfer things from bank to the solution for management or core business process. So the next role is a chief financial officer. The role controls bank balances and additional costs, including the bank taxes. And the last one, it's a mix of previous ones. The smaller company is the more roles in one person combines.
Thanks very much, Savlena. Yeah. So we do have some questions from the audience, but I guess we would be answering those questions later in our Q&A session at the end of our, the next session, which Aaron Fu from Netrust will be doing a session next. Over to you, Aaron.
Everyone, I'm Aaron, the Business Development Manager of Netrust. Thanks, Leonard, for the introduction. To begin, I would like to introduce or explain to you a bit more about who Netrust is. So Netrust, we have been in the cybersecurity business for 23 years. We started off as the first public certificate authority in Asia in 1997. And to date, we are the only accredited CA in Singapore. So our Netrust CA is also in the Microsoft Trusted Root program, as well as in the Adobe Approved Trust List. So what it means by being in the Adobe Approved Trust List, particularly for using of Netrust for document signing, is that when you have a document signed with a Netrust cert and open on a PDF reader like Adobe, it will show that this is trusted because it's issued off a trusted CA like Netrust. So most people will ask this question, what is the difference between an electronic signature and a digital signature? So we are more in the digital signature space. So to give you a flavor, a digital signature is actually a subset or type of electronic signature. Electronic signature is a very generic overall statement. So to go specifically into what is a digital signature, a digital signature is where the entire document, the data of the entire document is signed using this private key. So in PKI, there is this private key and public key concept, where the signer's identity is tied to the corresponding public key, and this public key is used to digitally verify the signature to ensure integrity and authenticity in the document and the signature itself. To give you a bit of background, a very high-level overview of how exactly does a digital signature work. So in this example here, we have Alice with a document that she wants to sign. Now, Alice has a private key in a USB token. This private key, only Alice holds, and only she can use this private key to sign on a document. So when a digital signature is performed, what happens is that a hash is created on a document. What a hash means is simply a fingerprint of the document, and it's unique. If a full stop is added into the document, the hash changes completely. So this hash is unique. So this hash that is being generated is then signed or encrypted using Alice's private key. This creates a digital signature, which is then embedded in the document to give you the signed document. So then this signed document is sent to a recipient. How then does the recipient verify this digital signature? So Charlie here receives the signed document, and he wants to verify Alice's signature, and he also wants to verify that the document has not been tampered with on his, in transit. So what Charlie does, or actually what the program does when verifying the signature, it creates another hash of the document itself to give you the document fingerprint. At the same time, it also takes the digital signature that's in the document, using Alice's public key, then to decrypt the digital signature to give you back the hash that Alice signed to begin with. These two hashes are then compared, and if the hash value matches, this proves integrity of the document, that the document was exactly the same document that Alice signed at the point of signing. And at the same time, with Alice's public key, Charlie can verify that this public key belongs to Alice because it was signed by a trusted CA. And when this trusted CA is shown, you have then verified the document to be authentic and to have not been tampered with. So people will then ask, why should I trust the CA? This is when Netrust uniquely comes in as an accredited CA in Singapore. So as an accredited CA, we actually function like as a third party, a trusted third party that certifies and issues electronic identities to users and organizations. This is similar to how our checkpoint authority issues passports. Netrust issues electronic identities. So as a CA, as an accredited CA, we perform identity verification on user and business entity before issuing of such certificates, in the same way that our ICA would verify the identity of the applicant before they issue a passport to the person. And we actually go through stringent audit requirements to maintain our accreditation status. Now, another thing unique is that in Singapore, we have this Electronic Transactions Act, which governs electronic signatures in Singapore. And our ETA gives legal presumption to digital signatures when they are signed using a certificate issued from an accredited CA like Netrust. So here are some of our key project references. And our main users are actually with the government and in G2B applications. So the first use case that we have is with CoreNet under Building and Construction Authority. In this platform, what they enable users to do, they have qualified practitioners like engineers and architects who have building plans that they need to submit for approval to the government agencies. In the past, they used to carry these building plans, physically sign on them, and bring it to agency to get it approved. Now with the platform and with Netrust certs to digitally sign on these documents, they are able to digitally sign on their plans, submit it into this system, and in the system, it routes these documents to the various relevant agencies to also use Netrust to sign and approve on these plans. This helps to greatly improve the review and approval process for such documents, and it's a 24/7 system. Another use case that we have is with Singapore Land Authority on their STARS e-lodgement system. So this system allows for lawyers to sign and submit conveyancing documents and submit them to SLA. And bank officers can then act on instructions, digitally signed instructions, to move funds from the buyer to the seller. This helps to improve significantly the conveyancing process in Singapore. I'd like to show you now a very quick demo on how a digital signature can be done. With a Netrust certificate, you can use a free software like Adobe Reader to form a digital signature within seconds. Let me show you a demo very quickly. So this is a sample document. I already have my Netrust certificate on my PC. To sign a document, to digitally sign on a document, all you need to do is go to More Tools, click on Certificates, and digitally sign. And the Adobe Reader will just prompt you to select your signature box and prompt me to select my certificate. So in this case, I'm selecting my digital certificate. For me, I'm using a scanned image of my signature to represent my digital signature. And it prompts me to save the document after it's signed. And here, within seconds, the document is signed. My signature can be verified. You can see this green tick. Because we're in the AATL Adobe Approved Trust list, it is automatically trusted. And there you see the green tick with my signature and my certificate details showing that it's issued to me under the Netrust route. And here you can see it's very simple to perform a digital signature using a Netrust certificate. Thank you.
Thanks, Aaron, for sharing, providing more insights into PTI and digital signatures. Just a couple of questions for you. Is digital signing using a mobile device supported?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the short answer is yes. Basically, for digital signing to happen, you need to have this private key. And a private key can be stored in different form factors like a smart card, a crypto device like a USB token, or on a file system. So in recent advances, now our phones, our iPhone and our Android phones have this secure element which can securely store your private key within your device. There are also virtual secure elements out there that can help you to securely store your private key. And this gives various levels of assurances in the digital signatures that are created out of these certificates.
Thanks. Next question I have for you is, are Netrust certificates trusted in other countries?
Oh, that's a good question, Leonard. So Netrust is an accredited in Singapore. So if the document is under Singapore's jurisdiction, if the Netrust certificates will be trusted, even if it's used by an entity that is overseas. But if the legal jurisdiction of the document is not within Singapore, then it will actually depend on the law of the country. Each country has their own ETA or Electronic Transactions Act equivalent. For example, in Europe they have eIDAS, and in US they have the eSign Act. But specifically to eIDAS and eSign Act, both of them do not deny legality for digital signatures that are produced by a third-party CA outside of their region, like with using Netrust certs. So Netrust certs can still be used to digitally sign on those documents, and they will not be denied illegality.
Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks, Leonard and Aaron, for sharing. We would now answer some of the questions that we have here. So question number one I see is, how do we detect and prevent money laundering?
I could start.
Okay.
Well, I'm not sure that I can tell you about the details. There's a law and recommendation from Central Bank of money laundering, I mean in Russia. In our turns, as a bank, we try to warn our customers to keep business within the law. So we have special service for this purpose. And to short answer to conclude, I mean, there is a law to prevent money laundering, and we just make sure that all clients stay in the law.
Okay. Any inputs from you, Aaron?
I guess I'm not a domain expert for money laundering, so I will refrain from answering this question.
Okay, so I've got one for you. Perhaps, how do banks adopt PKI-based digital signature to verify a transaction or document? And how hard is the onboarding process? I think this is something for Aaron.
Right. Okay, so for banks to adopt PKI-based digital signatures, be it whether it's for internal staff or maybe for their customers, they can subscribe to a third-party CA like Netrust to actually host the CA infrastructure and issue out certificates to their customers or their internal staff. Alternatively, banks can also have their own internal PKI. And we also have expertise in setting up internal PKIs for our customers. And with this trust that is created between the bank and their customer, where they trust the CA, which the bank has, then you can create such trusted digital signatures, be it for transactions or for documents.
Okay. Thanks for that. Let me see. Okay, I think we've just got one more. I think it's more relevant for Stephana. How do banks ensure its customers' safety in cyberspace, especially for private banks?
I don't think that there is a difference between public and private banks. Each banks provide the level of security that he could afford. So in my team, we pay attention to payment confirmation. And for this, Pay Control helps us to this. Once again, I don't remember the name of the company in Singapore, but it's the same. So Pay Confirmation, no?
Pay confirm.
Pay confirm.
Pay Confirm. Okay, in Rush it's Pay Control, like the same. And we use this method to help us to keep up money of our clients safe.
Okay, thanks very much. Okay, we seem to not have any more questions, so we have come to the end of our sharing session. Many thanks, everyone, for spending the time with us. Arum, together with our partners, are excited to offer secure, contactless customer experience on mobile, particularly in the ASEAN digital banking market. We certainly look forward to working with you to provide this experience. Many thanks once again, and stay safe. Thanks, Stephana. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Very much.
Have a good evening. Bye.
Thank you very much to our speakers for their insightful sharing. And with that, we are concluding our agenda for day one of the Digital Banking Symposium 2020, co-organized by the Singapore Fintech Association and the Banking and Financial Services Union. A special thank you to our esteemed speakers who have presented today, and to you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning into our sessions. Day 2 of the Digital Banking Symposium 2020 will begin tomorrow bright and early at 9 a.m. We will be starting the day off with an illuminating discussion on the topic of emerging technology in financial services and its impact on jobs. The session will be moderated by Ms. Wong Wan Yi, Fintech leader and financial services partner, PwC Singapore. She will be joined by Ng Nam Sin, Chief Executive Officer, the Institute of Banking and Finance, Tracy Lee, Director, Industry Development Division 2, Skills Future, Rex Lay, Managing Director, Cloud and AI Business, Huawei Singapore, and Janet Young, MD and Head, Group Channels and Digitalization, UOB Limited. Do remember to tune in tomorrow morning, and with that, I wish everyone a wonderful Tuesday evening. Goodbye.